and Senior Fellow at America First Policy Institute, Kenneth Timmerman. Great to have you this morning, gentlemen.
Good morning.
So, James, the House just rejected, you bet, the House just rejected yet another war powers resolution aimed at reining in President Trump's military action. It seems, Ambassador, like Democrats are more focused on attacking President Trump than on the active peace talks that are going on with Iran. What do you think?
Well, I certainly think that the Democrats are not where President Trump is on this war, and that's a shame because this was a necessary war, and all in all, it has been executed flawlessly, both diplomatically and militarily. On the other hand, there is an underlying question of should Congress have a say in this? But in a way, these votes are Congress having a say. They're a kind of sneaky way to do it, but a majority in the Senate have decided that they do not want to challenge President Trump's execution of the war. So as far as I'm concerned, he has congressional support, or he has a congressional mandate.
Well, meanwhile, on the other side of Congress, independent Senator Bernie Sanders of Vermont is escalating his criticism of U.S. aid to Israel, calling the country's military campaign, quote, illegal and horrific. Let's take a listen.
The American people, whether they are Democrats, Republicans, or independents, conservatives, moderates, or progressives, want to make certain that their tax dollars are spent responsibly. And in strong and growing numbers, they do not want us to continue spending billions of their taxpayer dollars in support of the illegal, horrific, and expansionist war policies of the Netanyahu government in Israel.
Kenneth, you are a senior fellow at the America First Policy Institute. Did you ever think you would see a political party actually come out and support the other side during a time of war?
It's pretty extraordinary. I think Bernie Sanders is living on planet Tucker. And that is not a good place to be.
True.
Look, let me just make this point. The U.S. and the U.K. used to have a special relationship. We used to be together in NATO. Today, that special relationship is over. We have a special relationship now with the State of Israel. We have, for the first time ever, waged a major war together with the Israelis. The strike on day one, on February 28th, there were hundreds of U.S. and Israeli aircraft in the air together, coordinated with in-flight refueling tankers. I mean, it was an incredible acrobats act. And this is something that we have never done before. So Israel is our ally in the way that the UK used to be our ally, used to have that special relationship in the past.
Yeah, it's no longer the days of Ronald Reagan and Margaret Thatcher. This is completely different, especially with the UK. And yesterday was historic. Israel and Lebanon, they hadn't really negotiated in decades, but they have agreed to a 10-day ceasefire, and President Trump announced this yesterday.
We're going to have a meeting, first time in 44 years, and Lebanon will be meeting with Israel, and they're probably going to do it at the White House.
When do you think, President, when do you think they would?
Over the next week or two. I think we will have an agreement between Lebanon, and they're going to take care of Hezbollah. But they're going to be working on Hezbollah right now. But we'll have an agreement between Israel, very importantly, and Lebanon.
Ambassador, it's clear the president seemed to be very optimistic that this would lead to a permanent peace deal between Israel and Lebanon. But the Iran-backed terror group Hezbollah, they have not signed on to this. So do you believe this ceasefire will hold, and how can peace be achieved?
I do believe it'll hold. First of all, it's in Hezbollah's interest. They have to reconstitute. They were dealt yet another horrific blow in the past month as Israel pushed into Lebanon all the way up to the Litani River and drove almost 1 million Lebanese from their homes, which now they're coming back to. But the whole point is that Hezbollah has lost again. This agreement follows the first official meeting since 1983 of Lebanese and Israeli officials in Washington the other day. And importantly, in this agreement, the United States has stated it will operate very actively to execute this ceasefire and ensure that everybody behaves. And that means Hezbollah has to disarm. It's on paper right now between Lebanon and Israel. This is a huge step forward. All of these are tied. The lifting of the Straits embargo by Iran, the progress with Iran, and what we've just seen with Lebanon.
Kenneth, President Trump posted this on Truth Social, quote, "I hope Hezbollah acts nicely and well during this important period of time. It will be a great moment for them if they do. No more killing, must finally have peace." Do you foresee Hezbollah standing down?
Well, we'll have to see. I have my doubts about that. But, you know, Hezbollah is the one that broke the initial treaty from May of 1983. Ambassador Jeffries, I'm sure, remembers that. I was on the ground in Lebanon at the time as a young reporter. And we did not know who Hezbollah was in the beginning. They blew up our embassy in April '83 in Beirut. Then they blew up 241 Marines in Beirut. And this was the beginning of Iran coming into Lebanon and taking it over. And I can remember, I'll tell you this, Krysia, and they haven't changed their spots. They've just gotten more powerful. But let me tell you this, we all left as reporters. We left Beirut in February of 1984 because Hezbollah came in and shut up the booze in the Hotel Commodore where all the reporters hung out.
Wow. Wow. Yeah. I mean, it's very hard to negotiate with clear terrorists, but hopefully President Trump is able to put pressure on Lebanon. James Jeffrey and Kenneth Timmerman, thank you so much for joining me.
Thanks so much.
Thank you.